Okay, so the Bible is meant to be understood and not just read. So, as Ezra was reading for 6 hours, they were weeping. The Israelites were weeping because they understood what was being read. They heard of God's plans for them. They were listening to how God had plans for their forefathers and how He had promises for them, and also the consequences of not following the law that He provided at the time for them to follow. And they were standing in the consequences of their forefathers and the ruins of it because of what their forefathers chose. They chose to edify their flesh, to chase after the flesh instead of serving God and serving God alone. They chose serving immoral gods. And so they were broken. They were broken. And they heard of Moses when Moses' passionate call to when Moses told them to choose life and joy or to choose death and disobedience. And the consequences of choosing death and disobedience. And then the rewards of choosing life and joy. They heard the call when Joshua was saying a generation later, choose today whom you will serve. They heard that, and it saddened them. It broke them. They felt regret and shame because of their forefathers and how their forefathers chose selfishness and immoral gods. And so now they were standing in exactly what their forefathers chose. So they wept. The land would be destroyed, and the people had sown to the flesh, and so they were reaping what they sowed. So they wept. I would weep. I would weep too. We could relate. I know we could relate. The brokenness was so deep for the Israelites. The bitter tears of regret and shame was running down their cheeks. So, just like with us, sometimes I don't believe that we pay for what our forefathers did because of the blood of Jesus. Because the blood of Jesus covers us, so we don't have to pay for what our forefathers did and whatever. We pay for our own mistakes, our own sin, right, that we choose today. But what we do sow is what we do reap. I believe that wholeheartedly. Some people believe as karma, what goes around comes around, whatever the case is. Nonetheless, whatever you sow, you will reap. And so with the generational cycles, how this correlates to me is that I do believe that if you don't believe in God, I feel like the same struggles and cycles can repeat because